Ukrainian troops have advanced near Cherkasskaya Konopelka in the Kursk region. This is evidenced by a map of the fighting released by the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces on the morning of February 11th. The Ukrainian Air Assault Forces also reported that they had recently taken new ground in the Kursk region and published a video. The February 8th map of combat operations of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the Kursk region of the Russian Federation showed that Ukrainian troops were in the village of Makhnovka and its surroundings east of Sudzha. The map of February 10th shows that the armed forces of Ukraine have advanced near Cherkasskaya Konopelka and are repelling Russian assaults there. Ukrainian forces' advance in the area probably took place earlier, but it was reported only after they gained a foothold there. On the morning of Tuesday, February 11th, the command of the airborne forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported that the soldiers of the 82nd Air Assault Brigade had recently carried out successful offensive actions in one of the directions of the Kursk region of the Russian Federation. The offensive was conducted in close cooperation with units of the support, combat, and logistics forces of the Ukrainian Defense Forces. As a result of the rapid and unexpected maneuver, new frontiers were occupied and the tactical situation was significantly improved, the Ukrainian Air Assault Forces said. The video shows the setting up of a crossing at the side of the destroyed bridge, maneuvers of Ukrainian armored vehicles in snowy fields near forest belts, and the landing of Ukrainian paratroopers and their taking up new positions, as well as shelling by the Russians. Not only that, Russian commanders sent 2 infantrymen to storm Ukrainian positions in the Pokrovsk sector, one on crutches and the other unable to walk. Journalist Yuri Butusov posted a video of the incident on his Telegram channel. The footage shows one soldier leaning on a crutch while the other crawls on the ground. The crawling soldier appears to be unarmed while the one on crutches carries an assault rifle on his back. The trick is that they all realize this is a one-way ticket, but they keep crawling as if under hypnosis to be slaughtered by drones, Butusov wrote. Meanwhile, today there are a lot of interesting updates from the Lyman direction. Here, in a brutal fight for Terny, Russian soldiers were thrown into wave after wave of assaults, only to face relentless Ukrainian firepower. What followed on the battlefield was described by surviving Russian soldiers as scenes straight out of a horror movie, with the fight for this small village resulting in over 1,000 Russian soldiers being wiped out. The goal of the Russian forces in this area was to take Terny, which they had failed to achieve for over a year of constant assaults. By taking over the settlement, Russian forces would accomplish the first step in eliminating the Ukrainian bridgehead on the east bank of the Jerebets River, while securing the flank of their bridgehead in the west. By doing so, Russian forces would only be separated from Lyman by several kilometers of open fields. To achieve this, Russian commanders sent forth small infantry groups in day and night assaults, hoping to overwhelm Ukrainian defenders who described the setting as a constant conveyor belt of small Russian assaults. The main advantage of the Russian forces in this area is their bridgehead in the village of Ivanivka on the western bank of the Jerebets River. These positions enabled the Russian forces to cut off one of the 2 Ukrainian supply lines to Terny and place the Ukrainian positions in the village in a cauldron. On top of that, if we take a look at the topographic map, we can see that the Russians control the high elevations both to the east and west of Terny. This allows their reconnaissance teams to observe Ukrainian positions and movements in the village, which is located in the lowlands. However, during the past year of intense assaults, the Russians had lost so many armored personnel carriers and tanks here that they were forced to use civilian cars and unarmored trucks to deploy their soldiers to the front line. Furthermore, Russians continue to have to cross over 10 kilometers of open fields to even reach Ukrainian positions. With Ukrainians conducting extensive drone surveillance, many Russian reinforcements become exposed to Ukrainian fire during their transport to the front line, resulting in disastrous casualties even long before they reach Ukrainian positions and only allowing very small groups to actually launch the planned assaults. Footage posted by a Russian soldier fighting in the Lyman direction shows the aftermath of Ukrainian nightly vampire drone raids on Russian supply lines, with entire columns of destroyed Russian cars and trucks littering the road. Additional footage reveals how Russian convicts were sent toward Terny without body armor, helmets, or rifles to draw Ukrainian fire while trying desperately to hide from Ukrainian drones and small arms fire. However, after the convict recruit waves ended, trained Russian soldiers initiated their assault on the detected Ukrainian positions. Despite showing good skill and aggression, their small numbers could not compensate against real-time intelligence received from Ukrainian drone operators, as the Ukrainian defenders were able to eliminate the Russian soldiers as they charged forward. Overall, the recent Russian campaign for Terny has resulted in over 1,000 Russian soldiers being killed in grinding battles, all for one small settlement. The Ukrainian 60th Separate Mechanized Brigade has effectively held off the combined efforts of two full-strength Russian divisions, outnumbered approximately 5-1, not just around Terny, but the whole Zherbets River. Still, the Ukrainian defenders are managing to deplete the Russian offensive capabilities around Terny and inflict severe losses. This has led to Russians no longer having the armored units available to support their attacks, only leading to further increased casualties and an even slower rate of advance. Russian forces will continue to incur high losses as they have only now entered Terny, with them having to suffer even more to actually take the settlement.